Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. My name is Daniela, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I got these brows. In the video, I'm going to be sharing two separate techniques that I use to achieve my brows. The first is just my everyday technique. This is what I do when I just need to get out of the house, or if I'm on the go and I don't really have that much time to spend doing my brows. And the second technique is more of my glam eyebrow. So this is something, or this is a technique I'll do if I'm going to be doing more full coverage makeup, or if I'm going to an event, or if I just want to look a little bit more put together and I want my brows to look more sleek. This is the technique that you'll see in the video. I think both are pretty easy and achievable brow techniques. If you're a beginner, the first technique might work better for you. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, please don't forget to give it a like before you go, and also subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me. If you have any suggestions, or if you want to share your eyebrow technique, please comment down below. Before I get into the video, side note, if you guys want to see like an everyday 5-minute makeup tutorial, I did a poll on Instagram. Actually, let's check right now. So I just did a poll on Instagram asking if you guys wanted to see an easy 5-minute makeup tutorial, and so far, we're at 100% yes. So let me guys know down below if you do also want to see that tutorial. It's very easy. It's actually the look I'm wearing right now. It literally takes no time to get this look. I did add lashes for the purpose of the video, because if I didn't, I would look like a little raccoon. But aside from that, if you guys want to see that video, I will definitely film it. Probably within, I could probably have that up in the next 2 weeks or so. So if you want to see that, please let me know down below. And thank you guys so much for joining. And with that being said, let's get the tutorial started. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how I go from these eyebrows to fuller, more put together brows. As you can tell, I do have two very different eyebrows. This eyebrow, in the front of the brow, the hair does grow upwards, and it's a pretty nice shape, at least for my taste. I know not everybody likes my brows, and that's cool. But yeah, this eyebrow, the hairs do grow upwards, and I do have a very, so I thought it wasn't filming. So the hair grows upwards, and it has a beautiful arch here, so it's a good base for me to start so I can build the brow that I prefer. And then on this eyebrow, you can tell I don't have that upward hair growth here at all. My hair kind of just grows, it just doesn't grow, it stops like right here. I don't know why, but I do have a nice arch here as well. I will say I do have pretty decent brows. So when I'm going for my brows, I just like to fill them in and add hair where there are some sparse areas. I'm going to share with you guys the technique that I use on my specific brows. So to get started, I'm going to show you guys the products I use to achieve my brows, and it's actually only a few items. I only use a brow pencil and a brow gel on a I only use a brow pencil and a brow gel on a daily basis. So the brow pencil I use is from Benefit Cosmetics. It's the Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 4. Let me get out of the way so I can focus. All right. And then the second product I use, it barely even has any writing on it, but it's just the Anastasia Brow Gel. As you can tell, it looks beat up, like you can barely tell that there is a name on it. It's just the Anastasia Brow Gel. And we're back in focus. And then, so on a daily basis, I only use those two products. But if I want to get a more sleek looking brow, I will use concealer to, what's the word I'm looking for? I can never think of the word. I don't want to say snatched either. But I just use my Tarte concealer. Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light Medium, and I just do that to clean up my brows and make them look more sleek, plain and simple. And then I set them with my Hello Flawless powder by Benefit Cosmetics, and then I'll share the 2 brushes that I use when I am applying the concealer. So we'll first start with my left brow. That's the first brow I go with, or I start with. So I'm gonna be looking in this mirror. So when I begin doing my brows, by the way, I have no idea what this is. Put bronzer on and then this mark came up. Whatever. So the first step when I'm doing my brows is brushing the hairs upward. And like I said earlier, you see how the hairs grow up, and this is like, what happened here? But yeah, so that's what my eyebrows look like with the hair brushed upwards. Then what I like to do is, I always start on this brow. So then when it comes to this brow, I can tell if I want to make it thicker or not as thick. So what I first do is I start by lining the bottom of the brow. See, it just makes it look so much better. So I just gently do small strokes so it can mimic an actual hair, or just, I just don't want too much product going on my brows because then it's harder for me to blend it out and make it look lighter. Okay, now I'm going to go and create the arch. Let me put more product. So now I'm just doing is filling in where there are sparse areas, which is right here in the arch. And once again, just doing light strokes so I can mimic actual hair. Now I'm just filling in the tail of the brow. So I do have a lot of hair on the tail, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm not too worried with adding product there. But I will add liner, this is not liner. I will add product, oh my God. So I will add product on the top of the brow because that's where I have the most sparsity. Is that a word? I don't know. But now I'm just going in on the top of the brow. And this is where my arch is, so I'm just going to add product so we can go with the flow. Oh, this looks really funny. I'm gonna add some down here because I'm noticing it looks a little bit empty. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit more so the shape looks a little natural. And I always use my fingers if I mess up. The warmth of your fingers is going to really make it easy for you to remove the product. Okay. All right. I like the way that shape looks much better. Okay. Now I'm just going to add a little bit more product on the tail. And that's it for the mid to end of the brow. Now I'm going to focus on the front of the brow because that's where I lack hair growth. So most people I've seen who do their brows will brush the hair upwards or create actual like hair strokes. But for some reason, this is the technique I like. I actually do strokes like this. I don't know how to explain it, but I create the front of the brow by brushing sideways rather than upwards. Because that's actually the way the hair grows on this brow, is the hair grows sideways, not upwards. So I just do that and I create the front of the brow. Okay. Now, let me turn off my notifications. Okay. So now you can see it looks like I have hair in the front of the brow. But what I'm going to do is brush the hair upwards So it looks more natural and it blends more. It blends in more. And I don't like the way that looks boxy, so literally all I do is just use my finger, brush that off, brush the hair up again, and voila, I'm done with that brow. And this is the shape I get. This is the best shape I can get with this brow. Now I go on to the next brow and I can tell how thick I want to make this brow. So first, when I'm doing this brow, I will outline or I basically do the same thing. So I just go at the bottom of the brow and create small brush strokes. So I have more sparse hairs here, so I focus a lot of the product there. And I'll be like, my technique isn't to get my brows to look exactly the same. I believe the saying is your brows are supposed to be sisters, not twins or cousins. I don't know, but it's true. I mean, I'm not going to spend hours on my brows just trying to get them to match each other. It's just not realistic. So as, you know, close as I can get them, that's what works for me. And I've been loving my technique. This is actually the only technique I've been doing for a long time. Like, I haven't used any brow powders in years. It's just this pencil, or before that I was using the Anastasia pencil, but I found that that one was very, I guess, drying, and sometimes my eyebrow hairs would be like it would remove my brow hairs, and I'm not with that. It just felt too dry. All right. So I'm just brushing through the brow. So you can see they do have a similar shape. They do both look similar, but not exactly the same. Okay. Just gonna make this brow a little thicker. Alright, so they're both looking pretty good, and now I'm just going to fill in the hair. And for this, I do upwards brow strokes because that's naturally how my hair grows. And just doing small strokes as I go. Okay. Then I just brush them out if they look too thick. Okay. All right, now I'm pretty happy with the outcome of the brows. Hold on, just add some color here. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, so this is what the brows look like with just brow pencil. I'm happy with the outcome. So on an everyday basis, this is basically how I end the brows, and then I just set them with my brow gel, and I just brush the hairs upwards and to the side, and these brows are locked and loaded. They're not going anywhere until you take your makeup off. But now on days where I want a little bit more coverage, or if I haven't tweezed my brows, or I just want them to look a little bit more sleek because I'm going for a more glam look, what I'll do is then use concealer to get that crisp looking brow. So the concealer that I'm using is the Tarte Shape Tape, and the shade that I just picked up out of my drawer is light medium. So all I do is place the concealer on the back of my hand like so, and then I'm using this Sigma, I know this is a concealer brush. The wording is no longer visible because I've had this for years and years and years, but it works. So all I do is use this concealer brush, and as you can tell, it's just like a curved flat brush, and then I just apply the concealer under the brow. like so. Okay. And this, just like I said earlier, it just helps cover up any brow hairs that are left behind. And it just makes them look more crisp. All right, so I'm just bringing that down a little bit more. And then you could drag the concealer downwards and create a base for your eyeshadow if you haven't already. Then I'm gonna use the Sephora Airbrush Concealer Brush. It's the number 57. And just blend out the concealer. Like so. And then you can also, if you want to take an extra step, I usually don't do this, but you could go on top of the brow and clean it up this way. And this will help if you've made any mistakes or overdrawn on the top of the brow. And then blend this out. So definitely do this step before applying any powders, any bronzer. I've already done that, but I'm not too concerned with what my makeup looks like. Technique will work for you if you like for your eyebrows to stand out and to really look like you just got them done by a professional. And then lastly, all I'm doing is just setting the concealer that I applied on my lid so that if I'm going to apply any eyeshadow, it'll apply much better and smoother. And these are what the brows look like when you apply concealer. They look really good. So now what I'm going to do is apply a little bit of bronzer to the forehead because we kind of eliminated that when we applied the concealer. So all I'm going to do is use my Too Faced, I think it's called Sweet Tea Bronzer. And just apply that right here and here. Okay. Another lazy girl, or a good lazy girl trick, is to use your bronzer as your eyeshadow. I do this on an everyday basis because honestly, I just don't want to spend hours and hours blending eyeshadow. Or most of the time, I just like to do a quick makeup look. So this definitely works for all my lazy girls out there. Like this video if you're just as lazy as me, but you still like to look good. Okay, so these are the eyes once I'm done with the full eyebrow spiel. Not too shabby. Right? That wraps up this video. If you like what you saw, please give this video a like and also subscribe to my channel so you can see more from me.